Today we are reading from John chapter 8 and verse 39. The passage that I'm about to read might sound very condemning to a certain degree, yet I want to explain a powerful principle in this passage. Now, when we hear principle, we immediately think of what we must do. It is not the case in what I'm about to share. So let us read from John 8 verse 39. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus said unto them, If you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man who told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. You do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, We have not been born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. Jesus said to them, If God were your Father, you would love me. For I proceed forth and come from God. Neither come I of myself, but He sent me. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? So Jesus says, well, I come from God. And whatever you see here is not what I produce by myself, but it's what God produces in this world. And you want to kill me. Abraham didn't do that. He didn't want to do that. And if God was your father, you would accept me. You would love me. He said, well, Abraham, if you were children of Abraham, true children of Abraham, and remember, they thought they were children of Abraham because of physical descent. But Jesus said, no, a child of Abraham is something completely different. A child of Abraham is somebody that believes as Abraham believed, and he will do the works that Abraham did, which would be to believe. He says, you're not doing that. Now, that sounds condemning because to a certain degree, and there might be an underlying feeling of guilt when we read this, because we can now say, are we truly children of God? Do you really love Jesus? If you don't love Jesus, you're not a child of God, and so forth. And that can be preached in a way that brings unnecessary guilt to our heart. Now I want to go to 1 John chapter 3. My little children, I'm reading from, I tapped 2 there. I need to go to 3. It says, Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knows us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and does not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that has this hope in him purifies himself, even as he is pure. Now, when you are truly a son of God, you will find that on account of the fact that you are a son of God, there is certain fruit. So many times we can read the verse the other way around. Produce these fruits so that you can become a son of God. No, the tree is known by its fruit. The fruit, you cannot hang certain fruit at a tree and think that will change the tree. What it's saying here is, if you are a child of God, you will love God. Isn't that beautiful? Just think of it that way. If you are a child of God, you will love God. How do we become children of God? We believe upon Jesus. As we believe upon Jesus, we find that it produces a certain life inside us. Let us just go back to the previous verse there. Verse 39. If you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. So it's a natural thing that if they were truly children of Abraham, if they believed as Abraham believed, then what would naturally be produced by that is the works of Abraham. So what I'm saying here is that faith is the complete package. It's something you truly believe, and it then includes actions. The actions is not something that is produced by us, but it's on account of the genuineness of what we believe. So, look at this beautiful, beautiful passage. It has been bestowed upon us that we can now be called sons of God. And we are not manifested as sons, meaning we are not eternal, immortal. But what he's saying is, even if we are not seeing that manifestation, we know that when he comes, we will be like him. And he that has this hope in him purifies himself even as he is pure. Can you see the hope of the resurrection and what that brings to our lives? It brings a power of purification in us. I'm going to end off by using this example. Let's say you're going to a meeting where you're going to meet the king, or you're going to meet the president of the country, and it's a formal meeting, you're going to meet him, and you've received an invitation, and you truly believe that that invitation is for you, and it is true, and you can go if you like, and you can go and meet the president and spend 5 minutes with him. That hope of meeting the president, where you can come with a request to him that he will answer you on, when you have that true hope in you, you'll find that that hope will purify you. It will get you and empower you to buy certain clothes. It will change your mind to a place of studying and seeing how do you live and how do you approach the president. It will bring forth joy and excitement to you. It will bring forth it will maybe remove a little bit, if you're an introvert, a little bit of that from you, where you'll become a bit of an extrovert and you will share with some strangers maybe what's going to happen. I'm going to meet the president in 2 weeks from now. You know, this meeting that everybody, I'm going to meet the president there. And you will start to behave in a certain way. Your mind will be in a certain way. Why? Because that hope is now cleansing you. It doesn't say, well, if you're clean enough, you might meet the president. It doesn't work like that. It says you've got an appointment with the president. You already have that. And that hope then cleanses you and purifies you. And this is what is going on here. When Jesus said, if you were the children of Abraham, you would do the works of Abraham. It's actually a very beautiful thing, because to be a child of Abraham is very simple. You simply believe what God has given us in Jesus. What did Abraham do? He didn't look at the weakness of his own flesh. You can go and read that in Romans chapter 4. And he didn't stagger at the promise. He didn't bring death into consideration. And he simply said, God can perform what he has promised. And he said God can perform what he has promised, and his life was directed by that. Now, if you believe that God can do what he has promised, would it be difficult to have a life that flows out from that? No. And I want to say this. You might say, but that means that I maybe don't even believe. Well, it might be that you don't believe, but you can believe. Hear his word. And as you hear his word, you'll find that faith, that cleansing faith, that naturally cleanses and washes your life and your actions. It's not something you do. It's something that happens to you when you truly see what God has done. And it's something you give over to and yield to on a regular basis by, as we said in this devotionals, continually hearing the word of grace, the word of his love. Well, thank you so much that I could bless you with these devotionals this week. Know you're deeply loved by God and that Jesus is in your boat. You are on the other side. He comforts you with life. He is yours. Amen and amen.